All right, hey everybody, back with another topic we're going to talk about today, which is idling your car and low RPM driving. There's an excellent video on it right here that you can go find by watching Torque Cars. He just put this out, was what made me think about doing this topic. We looked into it deeper as well, and we got a bunch of different variations of stuff on here that we're going to need to cover and dive into, but it all relates down to some simple functional things right here, and it'll explain it for you though. But here's the problems we got on here. So let's take a look at this again here. We're going to pull this back up here. When we come into here right off the bat, where am I? Right here. He goes in to talk about a bunch of the issues that are here for you. This is his video, so I'm not going to play it for you. You're welcome to go look at it. I'll try and remember to link it below for you, but it's from Torque Cars. Damage from consistent low RPM driving, eco driving warning. Okay, there's some things that can be caused here. And then once I watched it, I went and did some verifications. Even Scotty Clemmer on here, he's got a one right here. Here's why you don't, or why idling destroys your car engine. He repeats the exact same stuff that was said in this video. He reiterates the whole entire thing. We go over here to Yahoo News, and we have why idling your car is so, or why idling is so bad for your car. Now, this is not just idling. We're talking about when you're operating your vehicle in low RPMs, idling and low RPMs. There's the difference, but they're both going to do the same thing. So I got some tips for you here coming up in a minute as well too. But it says idling is leaving your car engine running when it's not moving longer than it's long thought to be better for your car than shutting it down. Idling actually gets you nowhere, okay, blah, blah, blah. But it says right in here where you go through it, it's going to tell you you're going to burn some gas, blah, blah, blah. It says, misconception that many have is that idling overall is better than restarting your car. It isn't true, especially for fuel use, okay, they're going to tell you that. But contrary to popular belief, idling does not protect your engine or help it run better. It does the opposite, causing unnecessary wear. An idle engine can cost twice the wear on internal parts, cylinders, spark plugs, I think they meant head gaskets, but they say heat gasket, and more than an engine operating at regular speed while driving. By not idling, you can extend your vehicle's life, okay? And that's exactly what is said here and is said here. And again, they also talk in both of these videos about low RPM driving, which we will get to. Let's finish this one out here. And it also goes to talk about fuel cost in here, worse for the air quality, that kind of thing. But so then we took it a step further here, and we go into this one here too, Engineering Explained. You can go look, but he talks about accelerating in high gear. These are things that will cause damage. Acceleration in high gear, engine works harder on when you're at a lower RPM, overworked, it overheats, inside cylinder temps, unpredictable timing. We're going to get into this stuff. I'll kind of break it down. Then you have the dreaded low speed pre-ignition that's going to happen. Prevention, don't floor it at low RPM, downshift instead. Give it time for the fuel and air mixture. Oil catch can he recommends on here. Again, these are their videos. You can go watch them. I'm not going to play them. They are his. But you can go check it out at Engineering Explained and why this is here. And then we also went ahead and did this too. Looked at what low speed pre-ignition is for you to be able to understand in here and cover this. So basically what happens for this, what it is, okay, they talk about how engines are getting smaller to, and they're turbo and smaller engines to replace bigger engines to move bigger vehicles. They go on and explain that, but right here it is, right here. What is low speed pre-ignition? Engines are designed specifically to ignite fuel during a controlled combustion. That process represents the burning of the air-fuel mixture in the combustion chamber. The flame starts at the spark plug and spreads evenly throughout the combustion chamber. The way it expands is fully controlled by the valve train, timing chain, and cam mechanisms. In perfect working conditions, a mixture of air and fuel burns entirely. The heat from the combustion moves a piston, and then the cylinder moves to the piston and then to the cylinder wall, finally ending up in the cooling system. Auto ignition is the opposite of this process. Okay, it's also called pre-ignition, spark knock, or super knock, or mega knock. Okay, low speed pre-ignition is in the event right here. Okay. It happens when a growing temperature and high pressure levels in the cylinder cause unburned fuel to ignite before spark, causing engine knocks. As the name suggests, it occurs at low speed during a period of instantaneous acceleration. It also happens under load. Okay, there's a difference between detonation and low speed pre-ignition. Right here, they tell you, however, these two phenomena are not the same. They talk about detonation occurs after that. It is caused by excessive heat and pressure that makes excessive gases burn spontaneously. As such, detonation is less harmful than low speed. Okay, what are the causes of low speed pre-ignition? Okay, right here, the characteristics of downsized gas engines are small engines, heavy loads, high above average or higher average pressures, and lower speeds. These factors contribute to engine damage and increase the risk of low speed pre-ignition. Okay. So this is a serious concern here. These are serious things that you got to take into consideration. And then you also get into further studies learn that engine oil droplets can cause this here. You got all kinds of things. You got water dilution in the oil. There's a lot of factors to this. So we put together a little list to make this easier for you to understand. Okay. And again, if you want to dig deeper into this, I do highly recommend you go watch these videos. Okay. Real easy to look up. And like I said, I'll try and link them below, but watch this one here. The one Scotty did right here is fantastic too. And then these articles, like I said, I'm explaining them to you, but this video here, also very good. This is very good detailed information. So here's the breakdown of how it basically comes into play. Here's what we got. Your problems that you're going to run into if you are doing a lot of idling or if you are a person that loves to drive at low RPMs. So who are these people that are driving low RPMs? Okay. Imagine people, you hear it all over in the comments and in the forums. Oh my God, when I'm towing my trailer with my truck, this thing's running at like 4,000 RPMs or 4,500 RPMs. So they'll slam the shifter over in a manual and they'll manually shift it to try and get the RPMs down to like 2,500 and save gas. That's bad. Okay, that's low RPM, high load on the engine is very, very bad. Okay, you don't want to do that. So you want to make sure let the computer do what it's going to do. Let the truck drive like it's meant to do. Okay, there's a computer in there that's designed to make sure your engine operates correctly. Don't think you're smarter than this engine. Okay, and there's also the people that will manually shift those gears in a stick or even in an automatic. They will run that, pop it over to manual mode, and they will downshift or upshift that to try to get those RPMs as low as they can to save as much fuel as they can. These are very bad things to do, along with idling for long periods of time. So what happens? You get oil or you get carbon buildup in the engine. Bad. Okay, it comes in the form of soot. It's like carbon. You don't want it in here. Oil starvation. A lot of oil pumps are based on engine RPM, and the slower and lower the RPM is, the less engine or oil that gets recirculated in there, and you're not getting the oil in the places you need. The computer also can't adjust the timing as much. Okay, if you're only running at 1,500 RPMs, that means that there's only 1,500 cycles of that cylinder, that piston in there for the computer to make its corrections and adjustments for timing on. When you're running at 2,500, 3,000 RPMs, especially pulling a load, that's 3 times more cycles that the engine can adjust that timing quicker to and understand what it needs to do. It matters. Okay, engines run hotter. Okay, low speed pre-ignition is a bad thing, as we just got done talking about. These are all issues from doing these wrong. So what do you want to do here? Don't idle for long periods of time with your truck. Okay, just don't do it. And that's a tough one. Even me, when I'm hunting, sometimes I need that air conditioning, so it's not uncommon for me to come back to a truck at lunch and sit in there for 45 minutes, eat lunch, and just stay soaking in the air. It's not good to do. Okay, or people like when I'm on a long trip and I'm heading somewhere in the wintertime to go hunt, if I got to crash at a rest area for a few hours, I'll leave the truck running, I'll leave it run for 30, 40 minutes and then turn it off, turn it back on. It's not good to do this kind of stuff. Understand, idling is bad for your vehicle. So is the low RPM loaded stuff. Step on the gas sometimes. Okay, again, work the motor like it's meant to work, okay? I mean, give this thing the beans a little bit here and there. I'm not saying get crazy or speed or do anything like that, but let the motor stretch its legs. Stay out of the low RPMs all the time. Vary them. Bounce around a little bit. Hit the gas a little more. Downshift a little bit. Give it some room for that motor to work, okay? If you're going to drive like that little old 80-year-old lady, which I'm not knocking, okay? I have an 80-year-old lady. My family drives great, but I'm saying if you expect to just idle away from a red light, and if you're never bringing your RPMs above 3,000 RPMs, then you're not doing real good for your motor. Give it some work in there and let it do its thing a little bit. Drive it like you stole it. Don't baby it. I don't mean that crazy wise, but I mean, let that kind of sink in. It's a vehicle. Don't think that if you baby it, you're going to save it, because the opposite is really true. Don't fear mid RPM ranges. And we hear this all the time when towing too. Even when I would say, like with my Tacoma and with my Cherokee Trailhawk I was pulling a 3,000 pound enclosed trailer with boats, canoes up on the top of it, and in kayaks up there on a big rack way up high. And I tell people, oh yeah, it's running 4,000 RPMs when I'm doing 70-something miles an hour down the road. And they're like, you can't drive at 4,000 RPMs. Oh, yes, you can. The computer in the vehicle says you can, and it says it needs that much RPM to handle the load that you're running, and it does it just fine, okay? Don't question it. Don't slam it in the manual and start shifting things and trying to bring it down, because now you're causing all of these things you see up here at the top to happen, and it's bad. Okay, and then you even start hearing the engine knocking in some vehicles and things like that because the timing can't keep up, and you got pre-detonation, and you got all these things happen. Don't play these games. Let the computer do what it's supposed to. That goes to this one right here. Don't fear the mid RPM ranges and trust your engine. Forget trying to save a penny by manually shifting it and trying to get the RPMs lower because you think it's going to save you a nickel in gas. Don't do it. Okay. And then when you are towing or you are loaded, I learned this with my Tacoma. The engine likes it better when you run premium gas when you're towing or you're loaded. When you're putting the engine under a hard load for a long period of time like that, premium gas does make a difference. So like before I leave for my Midwest trips and things where I'm going to be driving thousands and thousands of miles pulling a trailer, that tank before I go, I will run premium in it. And then when I run that all the way down and I have to refill the tank, I will run premium. And I will run premium all the way until I get back home from that trip. That way I get that extra, I don't know what it's given me, but it works. And it gets rid of any knock and any dings and any of that kind of stuff in there, and it makes it run better. So, and maybe I'm wrong on that, but that's what I heard. That's what I did, and I like it better. But I'm no mechanic by any means, and I don't claim to be. I buy vehicles that I don't have to work on because I sell them before I need to work on them. But this stuff here is valuable information. Hopefully it helps you make your vehicle last longer. You got any comments on them? Definitely put them down below. Love any information you got. Thanks for watching.